In Singapore, buying a home is not just a question of income. It is also a question of subsidy, eligibility, financing rules, and how much capital a household can put down upfront. And that is why housing affordability can be difficult to compare. Because a BTO flat, a resale HDB flat, an executive condominium, and a private condo are not simply 4 homes at 4 different price points. They sit within different parts of the housing system, each with its own affordability logic. If we narrow the comparison to mortgage math, the numbers become easier to line up. Based on our article, the estimated monthly household income needed starts from $5,872 for a 3-room resale flat and rises to $15,429 for a CCR condo. But even these figures need context. The calculations assume a 25% down payment, 25-year loan, a fixed interest rate, no other debt commitments, and no housing grants used. They also exclude other costs like stamp duty, legal fees, renovation, and agent fees. So a household may clear the mortgage calculation and still find the purchase financially tight. So the real issue is not only how much a household earns, it is what kind of housing pathway that household is trying to enter. For BTO flats, affordability is shaped primarily by policy support. New flats are subsidized, access is governed by eligibility rules, and buyers may qualify for grants. That makes BTO the most structured route into home ownership. But affordability here is not just about price. It depends on whether a household qualifies, whether it can secure a flat through the ballot, and whether it can accept the waiting time. BTO is best understood as subsidy-led affordability. Resale flats are often more expensive than BTO flats, but they solve a different problem. Buyers gain immediate access to completed homes, a wider choice of locations, and more certainty over the flat they are buying. So resale affordability is not simply about paying more. It is about paying for speed, flexibility, and location. This is public housing, but public housing that operates much closer to market pricing. Executive condominiums are one of the most misunderstood parts of the market. They are sometimes described as a cheaper version of a private condo. Financially, that is too simplistic. ECs are better understood as a transitional housing product. They sit between public and private housing. For some households, an EC is a step up from HDB without a full move into the private market. But this is also where the risk of overstretching becomes more relevant. EC affordability is about whether that upgrade is financially sustainable. For private condos, affordability becomes less about eligibility and more about balance sheet strength. The issue is often not salary alone. It is whether buyers can comfortably manage the down payment, the loan, and the effect on monthly cash flow after purchase. A household may technically qualify for a loan, but still have very little room left for other expenses, savings goals, or financial shocks. Private housing is best understood as capital-led affordability. So housing affordability in Singapore is not one single measure. BTO is subsidy-led. Resale HDB is market-priced public housing. ECs are transitional. Private condos are capital-led. These are different housing pathways, each with their own affordability logic. And the choice of pathway does not only affect what you can buy today, it can affect what options remain available later. Households that move into private property may face additional conditions if they later decide to return to public housing. That means housing decisions are not just about affordability at the point of purchase, they can shape future flexibility as well. So the more useful question may not be what a household can afford today, but what kind of housing path it is committing to over time. Because in Singapore, affordability is not just about entering the market. It is also about how easily you can move within it.